Hi everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. Well, if you're like me, you are practicing social distancing, and for me, because I have a 14-year-old at home, we are staying in most of the time and sort of trying to figure out ways to keep ourselves occupied with and entertained with what we have. So I started looking around and thought I would show you this project that I came up with. It's a shadow box. And this was a frame that I had hanging around, and I had some paper, and I also had some of this holographic sparkle vinyl. Now you might not have all of these things, but I just want to give you some inspiration. Maybe you have a different size frame or a different kind of vinyl, and that's okay. It's just kind of an idea of what you can do. So I want to show you how to put this together. In particular, I want to talk about this, the vinyl on glass stuff. So let me start off by saying that, first of all, I'm going to give you the file for this Celtic Knot. Here is the Celtic Knot, which I made into about 7 inches. So it cannot be cut at this size on the Joy, but my file will also include a smaller size that you can cut on the Joy if you'd like. I'm also going to give you the file for this Shamrock that is also in 2 sizes. Okay, if you're using holographic sparkle vinyl or glitter vinyl, which I did this one on glitter vinyl, and I'm not sure if you quickly looking at if you can see what happened, but right here, when I was weeding it, and this weeds extremely fast. You have to really do it all in one go because of the way that it cuts out. But it pulled up this little section here. Now for me, I saw it immediately and tried to go back and find that piece that pulled up, but I couldn't find it. And so I just thought I'd caution you when you go to weed this to be very careful, whether you're doing the holographic or even any kind of vinyl, because the way that it cuts is very intricate and you have to really pay close attention to it. So again, I cut this on my maker, and I wanted to show you what I do. You know, a lot of times I get really super frustrated because vinyl comes in a roll and it has like that rolliness, and then when you take it off of the mat, it starts rolling up and it makes it really hard to cut off the part that you want and to keep this as a remainder. So I wanted to show you what I do with, this is a Cricut ruler. I love this ruler because it does keep your hands and your fingers safe when you're cutting. And then also this is that True Control knife that I showed you before that works just wonderfully. It's very similar to an X-Acto knife, but actually better. And then when you use this, you don't have to worry about, leave it on your mat. It will hold it down because of the stick, and then you just run this across and down, and your piece, your actual cut, will come off fairly easy. When you go to weed this, you actually don't need a weeding tool except for getting it started on right here on the corner, at least not with the holographic. But what you do have to do is you have to start weeding it and sort of rolling the and going very, very slow. Do not, I know it's very tempting to sort of rip it off like a Band-Aid, but you're better suited to doing it all in one fell swoop, kind of slow, and then going back and recovering places where it might have lifted. And let me just show you how this is, and that way you don't end up with that thing that I showed you with the glitter. So you see I'm kind of pulling it all into one ball, and it's getting stuck on my fingers, but that's okay. Just want to make sure. Oop, see, that's what I mean. I'm not sure if you can see this, but a piece of it kind of lifted with the negative space right here. So I'm going to kind of hold it down and work around it, come back to it. See that? And what you can do, you can recover from this by just simply, you know, being patient and working underneath and getting that piece out of there. This is the piece that's does not belong there, and then you can push this other piece back down. And then just go back and do the same thing. See how I'm kind of like holding it at an angle to roll it off of that backing, and try to be patient and look all around, making sure that you get all those pieces off. Here we go. The next step is to put transfer tape onto the image. If you are using glitter vinyl, which is very pretty, the glitter vinyl is very pretty, do make sure that you use this extra strong or the strong grip transfer tape that comes on the inside of a roll of your glitter vinyl, because it works better with the glitter vinyl. But for the holographic sparkle vinyl, you don't need that strong grip tape. You notice here what I'm doing, instead of like just putting that transfer tape just straight on at the middle of the project, which is kind of like the way I learned to do it. Rather, I like to kind of roll it on like this, because then I don't get like puckers in the transfer tape. I don't know if that happens to you, but that's really annoying for me. So when I have the transfer tape on there, I use this scraper, or you can use whatever you'd like, but I burnish it on the back, and then I flip it over. Actually, I have to, just so it won't be sticky, I have to take off the extras bit of transfer tape. Just so, you know, it's just sort of like regular tape, so you don't want it to be sticking on your hand or whatever. So, and then make sure you burnish it on the front as well, okay? And it's always tricky to get it started, but I want to show you the trick that I use. I start with the backing facing up, and use my little pick just to get it started, and then I start rolling it like this. Now I'm not ready to put it onto the glass yet, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes the transfer tape will stick to, like the top of that transfer tape will stick to the back of the adhesive. Actually, it's not the transfer tape, it's the backing. Sometimes that will happen. So I do use a little pick to sort of make sure that I sort of lift it up, because we want it to be the sticky side showing, you know. There we go. And I roll it using my little pick if I need to, which I do need to here. Okay. Continuing to roll it. And I don't take it all the way off. I just want to make sure that it's going to come off easily. So then I just kind of very gently push it back. And then I get my frame ready. So this frame, I got this at Michael's. It's an 8x8, what's called a Shadowbox frame. And basically what it means is it has this glass on the top, and then in the back it has like a little place where you could put things. And people use this to put rolled flowers or mementos or anything like that. So you want to turn this over, and with using your either your nails, or I use a tool, and I lift up these little metal, I don't know what they're, prongs or something, but I lift them up like this all the way around. Then I'm going to take out the back. Now you'll notice here with the Shadowbox frame, there's actually an interior frame here. You don't want to remove that because you want to put something that so that it's sort of in the back, and it creates like a shadow effect, I guess. So I cut out and just slightly under 8 by 8 inch piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to put, so I nestle that in there, put my backing back, and then push down on all of those. Metal prongs. Okay, so now I have my frame with the paper in there, and I'm going to take my my transfer, my vinyl with the transfer tape on it, and I'm going to take off the backing. And again, I start it sort of from the bottom. So if you kind of mess up, you can lift it up like that, and you can start pressing it down. Nope, I don't like it there. I want it to be centered. Let's see. Centered. I'm off. It's all right. Okay. This looks good to me. Yeah. And then I'm going to press down around where that design is. It's glass, so don't press terribly hard. I would not use the burnishing tool, I don't think. Maybe you might. And then I'm going to lift up the corner of the transfer tape. And again, I'm going to roll it off. And I use my fingers always trying, and I'm going slowly because if something doesn't come off that transfer tape, then I can always put it back. And sort of why we took it off the backing so ahead of time. Whoop, see? So we can go back and kind of push it down. Whoop, here's another piece. Go back, push it down. Okay. And then I would definitely, rub your fingers around the pieces just to make sure they're adhered, especially if you're going to give this as a gift. And that's it. That is this really pretty holographic sparkle Celtic knot in a shadow box frame. I hope that you found this useful. I'll be coming back with more videos on how to cut with the Joy and also the Cricut Maker. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would encourage you to do so. We have a lot of information that we give away for people who are interested in working with their Cricuts to make their lives more creative. So thanks for joining me today. Hope to see you again really soon.